Hello there, welcome back to my channel. So carrying on with my VRs to Ethony, this one was what deck did you finally cross off your list for 2020? I brought two in because there were two that were on my list, and one's going to be no surprise to you because it had a long journey to being produced, and the other one was because you go onto the wait list for it every time it sells out. So I start with the Dark Mansion Tarot from Tarotecca Studios. That's the website that you go to if you wish to take a look and order these. This one is the third edition that I got. It's in the rose petal finished box, and basically I think it took 3 months from going onto the order list and paying for it to arrive, and that was pre lockdown and everything else. I can't actually remember when it arrived, but yeah, but I'm really pleased with it. Lots of buts in that sentence. I decided, because I love the backs, so that's the backs I went with, because you can also get the brown backs with the jewel in the middle, and there are different sizes. This is, I believe, just a standard. I didn't want to get any of the collector's editions. I simply wanted the deck to work with. It's a nice black edge, and the cards are pretty standard. They've got really nice borders on them. I do not mind these at all. Just to show you some of the cards, here we have the Strength. Lovely colourful kind of Tim Burton-esque images in these. Oh, that's what it reminds me of. I don't know what it reminds you of, but they're just really nice. That was the Four of Wands. Lovely little picnic going on there. We've got Six of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles. I'm not going to lie, these were quite hard to get used to working with because they are rose petal finish, so it took a lot of shuffling to get them to ease up so they shuffle well. And then obviously we have the Three of Swords, which was the one on the bottom. I think that's a really beautiful thing with the locket. And also I quite like the like braiding in the plaits. There's 3 braids there in the plait. That also seems to have to me like another layer of the Three of Swords to it and the meaning. This deck doesn't come with a little white book or a guidebook because it is standard RWS imagery. So if you have any standard RWS white book, that is what these pertain to. Because I have seen lots of people a little bit confused that they're not in there, and as was I suppose, when I first opened this deck. So that was my first one, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one because the big hitter was, of course, the Bonestone. It finally was produced and sent out in the flesh, and I have it. I've been working with it. It's not been a heavy workhorse of mine because I rotate my decks monthly. However, I do still pull this one out because I love it so. I love the fact that it comes with the foam inserts, and it's got these thumb holes to get your cards in and out. I really am not bothered by the fact that it splits to 2 sections, because actually it kept the box thin. I mean, it's still a chunky box, but it's letterbox size just. If it was any bigger, it wouldn't go in through letterbox, and I wouldn't want to jinx this one by not being home to receive it or it fitting in my letterbox. So I'm really happy about that. The box is really super sturdy. It comes with a tome of a book, which I have put these tabs on. There was a Facebook group where somebody talked about putting tabs on. They are removable, so they haven't damaged anything, and I've just kind of set them into, so I've just set them inside the page so they just stick out a little bit so I can still get them into the deck box. They fit in the box as they are without being any trouble. So I have marked the contents page. I've marked my sections, majors, minors, suits, and right at the back there, not the back there, sorry, at the back there at the top is the Bruxa card. So it comes with an extra card, and I like the fact that the meaning's in the book, and it's Ethony in her apothecary, but I really like the fact that it's in that. I've left it within the deck. It comes out quite a bit actually in my readings, and it just feels like she's kind of, you know, watching over, helping you, guide you through the getting to know the deck and all its intimacies. So this gorgeous deck is a nice size. I can handle it. It's perfect size for me. It shuffles really, really nicely. It has the red candy imaging edging. You can see roughly, because although I was shuffling carefully, I forgot to take my rings off. So I started to where I shuffle and they, you know, hit my hand with the rings on. I didn't realise I was chipping the edges, but I'm kind of okay with that. I'm just gone a little bit on the edge there where I'm constantly dropping it on the surface to realign them. Not following my own advice, which is put them on a beautiful cloth that's padded or velvet or something, and don't bash the edges. Anyway, the deck has fantastic images. It's been put together with a real earth nature to it because Avalon is an earth-based creature, and there are stories to each card. So this is the full, and you can definitely see, you know, she's stepping into the unknown with this one. There is no two ways about it. She's stepping through the hole in the tree into possibly even another realm, off to journey and experience some things. I'm not going to go through the whole deck again. I'm just going to show a few cards. So we have the 7 of Swords. All the cards have a leaf on the bottom, so they're not standard. If you're looking for a familiar, recognisable element to them, so that's the Moon. It's pretty obvious what they are. It tells you what they are. Like for instance, here's the 5 of Cups. So we've got elephants and bones, the elephant's graveyard. And again, as I say, it's a leaf at the bottom, and they're all green. All the leaves are green, so there's no colour correspondence in that way. They're not different colours to each. We have the 8 of Cups. There's a lovely, it's the colours in this deck and the way that it sort of draws you in. This deck I feel you need to sit with for a while when you're doing your own readings, just to see everything that's coming out. The colours really do inspire me. They tend to call to sort of chakra and healing for me usually, and you know, things I need to concentrate on and focus on. So for me it's a really nice nurturing deck. I find that that does come out for me. However, I do use it sometimes as standard readings, you know, just with the standard meanings to the cards rather than what's in the book. But the book comes with fabulous stories and prompts for journaling and to inspire you on your own journey. This Knight of Swords, there's some real movement in there, isn't there, with wisdom and heading forwards. A lot of conviction. The Hermit, this is another one of my favourites. All that ancestral energy going on in the cave. Queen of Swords. So she's got like the raven skulls and the human skulls. It's me peeking around the side, sorry, just make sure it's in view. The Empress, I mean, you really don't get any more earthy in nature than this. Fertility, prosperity, you know, grounding, connection. It's all in there. Let's have a look at something else. Swords in most of the decks are my favourites. So here we have Page of Swords. He's got that real sort of magician chaos going on there, hasn't he? Like really learning to master whatever it is that he's looking to achieve. 4 of Swords. Lovely resting, I suppose, you know, if you were to float in the water for a while to recover, you'd kind of get that. Okay, so there's the Bruxa. She's holding the Temperance card in her hand. So there's a real balance of the alchemical sides of what she's up to. The Ace of Pentacles, which is from the front of the box. This 4 of Wands has a lovely, you know, relationship with perhaps, you know, maybe that might be your mother figure, or there's that definite maiden crone feel to this one, I think. That sharing, there's like, it's very intimate to me. It's a very intimate sharing moment with somebody, you know, where you let, perhaps if it was your wedding day and your mum or your mother figure comes in and braids your hair and gets you ready for the, you know, ceremony that's ahead. Kind of really has that moment to it for me. The Wheel of Fortune, I love this. There's a film, and every time I cannot remember what the film's called, where, is it Robin Hood maybe? But you know, they kind of pull out the entrails and see what's going on and where they're going, or is it one with Michelle Pfeiffer? Star? I can't remember the name. There's a shooting star in it. Anyway, the 3 witches, they pull out the entrails of the, is it a rat that they kind of gut to tell her which direction to go to find the star? Where next? So the Queen of Wands, that's a great card. Some real powerful, colourful feelings and sentiment in there. There's that true ownership of self and stepping into your spirituality, your power, knowing who you are, your direction. It's all in there. This one was quite popular when I showed it in a group. So this is the Nine of Swords. And again, as you see, it's really different to what you might be used to. However, there's that whole darkness, the darkness that could be emerging in like that depressive state, you know, that beast sneaking up on you. Or you could look at it the other way, you know, like calling in on your inner beast in order to overcome the darkness, to get you through. And I really like that sort of feeling with this card. The World, I don't know what name this tree is, but I'm going to call it the Tree of Life. So we have the tree, all the rainbow colours in there, everything in there. So that's a, you know, to me it's another really beautiful card. You see one more, Death, which is another favourite for many. So the transformation sort of card. I love that with all the flight, taking flight, transformation, moving on to, you know, the next phase. There we go. So that is the 2 decks that I crossed off my list for last year. I hope that you enjoyed them. What did you get? What was it that you were really waiting on? I don't mean the small purchases, because we all went into that fear of missing out last year, didn't we? So let's ignore those. What did you actually get and acquire that you had been on your list for a while, or you'd been waiting on desperately to come out? Let me know in comments. And if you work with either of these, it'd be lovely to hear how you work with them, what you use them for. Do you find either of the decks pertain, or that you're drawn to use them in a certain way? Or are you like me, sometimes you'll use them for general readings and other times you'll use them for a special type of reading or spread for yourself, where you need to sit, reflect and be you know, take that time to kind of meditate and look after yourselves. Take care everyone. I will see you again in my next VR. Bye bye.